Welcome back to Railroads Online. I am Rever, and we are here up at the iron mine. I'm sorry, the coal mine. Need to figure out where I'm at. I do know it's the coal mine. I was just thinking about the coal and what we're going to do next. So I decided to pick up pretty much exactly where we left off in the last episode. If you didn't watch the end, I think it's a little bit interesting. I don't want to go through all of this again, but we have two rail sidings up here, and what we did was we split our load. There was reasons for doing this at the time. We had lost a few cars on our way up here. But at this point we split it, and the idea, and I'm really kind of liking the concept. Maybe not like I said in the last episode for this one, because I'm not sure how well it's going to really work out, but these trains are getting so long that I'd be out and around the corner trying to unload this. Now we could force ourselves to have to come back in this way. If I came in the other way, then I'd be over here working. But then we deal with the fact that doing these trains on that super tight curve right there with 26 cars is just asking for derailments, right? So it didn't happen to us last time, but it's still a problem. Now, I did forget to mention one thing to you guys. I am going to stop making these videos every single day for Railroads Online. I think we've accomplished a lot of what we wanted to. I want to continue at least until we get the 200 oil barrels, but just expect to see workers and resources videos kind of interjected in between. I definitely appreciate all you guys and your support through this series. It's been great. Thank you for all the positive comments and even some of the negative ones that were constructive or nice. And other than that, we've got to move on, right? So let's keep going. So we have 64 coal up here, which should be enough. If I look at what we have at the ironworks, oh, is it enough? Oh, wait, we have 4 iron. Oh, I don't know if we have enough because I have 42 steel pipes and I need 100. Oh, no, that would be enough. Yeah, because I need 58. All right, so good. We're in good shape. I just scared myself again. All right, so let's pull this thing forward. I did just put some more firewood in it. We've got to pull all the way around the turn, I'm sure, to do this. We have to be able to flip this switch. We're going to have to pull down there. At some point, I probably should put a marker if I keep doing this. Let me see. I want to come up here and redesign some things at this point. I think I want to make this so it's not such a steep curve. If you notice, I got rid of the water and the firewood. We're never really going to use it. If I put another water thing up here, I will, but with these bigger locomotives, they just don't need water as much. I'll just keep in mind that we don't have water here. And let's be honest, I can always plop one down whenever I need it. At this point, it's not like they cost us anything. Let's see. This is just such a steep hill that I think it would cause problems. Then we have this turn, and I'd like to try to straighten this turn out a fair amount more. Now let's see. We're almost past that now. Let's give it a little more break. Hopefully we don't derail. See how those cars, like, if and when you're trying to unload, it's so much nicer to be able just to slam on full brake and get out, and then just slam on full power when you want to go forward. And again, I'm not trying to say I'm uncontrolled. Just, when you're unloading this many cars, you're bound to make a mistake at some point. And it's just going to cause a derailment around that turn or this turn. I don't think there's any real. I mean, I guess you could avoid it, but like I'm saying, I think that this is a decent solution. Plus, it's saving you the time to run back. Now, I'm going to put a link in here. That's why I ran up here. And then we'll make sure there's no link in this one, right? Which it looks like there probably is because I can see a pin. I should have probably checked. It doesn't matter. I had to do it either way. There we go. So now we can back in here and pick up the rest of our load, and that's what we would do. Now, it's all convoluted because it's separated between episodes or parts, whatever you want to call that. So I didn't really get a real good sense of how much I would be bringing or how long it would have taken. I'm sorry. I'm distracting myself. All right, so let's get going backwards. We're going to have to go a fair amount. Give it a good amount even to get started. So we're on this hill. Yeah, I think we can straighten this out a little bit, right? Like make that less swoopy into the turn. for a second. Or at least got the hill working for us. And then we could come in here like straighter this way. You know, like I don't think we could leave this alone and we could talk about, well, I could even try to split that off whenever, right? We still have to have our loop. Or would like to have our loop. Can't really see because of the smoke. Am I there yet? I got a lot of... See that? See how... Oh, we're derailing stuff. I'm so there that I'm derailing. You know what? I want to slide forward a little bit more. Give me room to put that back on there. Yeah, see, and that's the exact kind of thing I'm talking about. Because you're on that hill, I'm giving it so much juice, I can't even tell that I'm here. Now, can I go hook this guy up just out of curiosity? Probably not. Probably rolled forward just enough to... Yeah. Of course. Okay. Yeah, nice flat level areas are the way to do it, if you can. Let me just set these last 3 or 2. Should be enough. They're not really on the hill. Huh. Kind of. Well, let's go here. Did I pick up the one that I was on? Yeah, this one has its brakes on. Well, that was... Yeah, let's get rid of that link. Probably take this brake off. I didn't really mean to do it that way. Come on. Yeah, this is another thing. It's like I think they saved the state, meaning the condition it was in. Let's see if I can't do this one. Now, if I put this one in with no brakes, it will go down and hit that one. And I thought something was a little odd with the way it was getting placed. What? Get out from underneath of it. Yeah, see, it'll go bump that guy. And then that guy will slide down into that guy. Can I get lucky? Yes. Very rarely does it seem like you have the right number of links or not. Okay, so this guy's got a pin. No link. Link, pin. Right, we could leave that brakes on for that one for a minute. This one never had the brakes on it. Yeah, we still have a little fire. Let's just back up, and we got to remember to put more in. Yeah, I really just can't see back there whether or not I was pushing. I was hoping to see those cars move, but they're just not. Oop, I got the brake on. Oh, no, I pushed it in forward. And it's... Yeah, see, I'm doing 67. I'm not even pushing any cars just to work this hill, right? Like, that's, okay. Stop. All right, so I need to go set this one. All right, take this brake off. That should be good. Yeah, I didn't put this one on, right? No, that was the one I just did. This one. Because I re-railed the one. I did 2, but I re-railed the one. And this guy's going to be somewhere up here. Yeah, right there. Then I need to D. Like I said, I never set the brakes down there because we had a hill. Let me show you the little feature. And I think this is the way I would do a lot more of my rail sidings, depending on the circumstances. But see how I put that on a downhill? So if you end up saving, all these cars are going to be pushed together But they should be good to go without any brakes at that point, right? Like they should all be pushing themselves down at least a little bit together so that they're, when you go to pick them up later on, hopefully the links are good to go. All right, there we go. So 64, and we're ready to head down the hill, I think. Okay, dealing with 26 rail cars becomes like work in the sense that it's not easy, but coming all the way down to this iron mine, I would certainly like to work out the bugs to more cars. And then if I know I can take cars and peel them off, and that solves my running 4 miles back and forth unloading these things, that's pretty nice. This looks like it almost wants to derail right there. Yeah, I think I'm going to come up here with the rail repairs and fix that issue. And there was some other issue I'm forgetting someplace else. All right, let's give this guy a little bit of break. Not anticipating too many problems on the way back. Worry about the bridge over the gorge. If we make it past the top of that, then I think we'll be okay. Fortunately, we won't have any trees. If you didn't watch the whole last episode, we ran into a tree right up here. Like right around the turn when I was looking back anyway. Not that I would have seen it because I was looking at my rail cars. So I like to look at the rail cars because that's really how you can judge your tracks. Are they all acting nice and smooth and behaving themselves? You know? If you can see them jumping around a lot, you know you got an issue. And when we were coming around this tight turn, I ended up hitting a tree. Right here. That's where the tree was. And I was looking back at the cars coming around this fairly tight turn up here. Which should be pretty smooth. I don't know where we lost in the last episode we lost 7 cars that came back down the hill here, and I'm not 100% sure even why. I must have lost them. I don't think I lost them around this turn, but it's possible. Nothing derailed. They just like uncoupled. I'm thinking I may have lost them all the way at the top, which is another reason I want to repair that. And let me know what you guys think about that whole idea of like offloading some percentage of your cars. I'm picturing something where you could, like, imagine before you pulled in, you could unload to like a station that wasn't up in the hills, right? If I wanted to bring like a massive number of cars, you know, maybe to the oil refinery, you could actually, the oil refinery might be tough too. You have to find the right location. But the idea would be you could bring a massive number of cars there, leave your, you know, most of your car in the side, most of your cars in the side and go load, unhook that one section of cars, hook up another section of cars, load or unload. That's certainly, I think, it is a decent idea at least. Let's see, do we still have all the cars? Yeah, we're moving right along. Might get going a little bit fast around this turn. Give it a little break. But yeah, so I'm liking the concept of that offloading cars to save the running them back and forth. And also issues around turns. Like if we could do that right at the iron mine, it would be a similar idea. Like that would be kind of interesting. A little less room up there to work, but. Alright, we're pretty much on the level. Start giving it some, you know what? We have no steam pressure. Hopefully I didn't just cause a derailment. I hope not. Be back in 1 minute. Okay, we have the all-important steam pressure So let's head in there and head back up. Sorry about that. Didn't do anything. Just sat there staring at the screen for a few minutes. It's like nothing ever happened. We'll be hopefully, like I said, I hope it didn't cause a derailment. I kind of hit the brakes a little bit hard, I think, especially by hitting the F. Looks like we got a lot of cars. So we'll come back up after the episode if we don't. But I am actually expecting to use it. I'm going to be quiet while I make a bunch of noise and we head back, at least up this hill. This is the spot I worry about because of the height change being abrupt, and then there's also like a bit of a spline issue right there, right? So watch the way they come over this. I mean, it's not too bad, but you can see they kind of like rise up over it, and it's could be a lot smoother. Going too fast. These cars are still coming around off that bridge. There we go. I think they're done. Now we pick up speed because they're all on the downhill. Now I don't want to go too fast. Been doing about 20 with other trains, and this is all downhill, so I don't want to go too fast, you know. Funny that they did all this with the trees, and then I still had trees that I ran into. This is a bit of a downhill here that can get you going pretty fast. I just want to see if I can handle it, keeping it on the 20. There's no bad sharp turn at the bottom of it like the other place, and then we'll sort of get to a little more level spot like up here. So I've been able to do this at full speed before, or not full speed, but 20, like just As you can see, we're booking along pretty well. It doesn't sound like it, but we are, you know. And you do have this turn here, but like I said, you tend to like slow down enough on that flat that I've made it through there. Yeah, and then we have that bumpy part. I don't like that. Fix that at some point. Doesn't seem to be affecting it. Seems like we're doing pretty well. I feel like we're starting to go too fast. Let's just cut that down. Yeah, see, right up there is my stone block. I almost need a stone block to be moved up here, or put another one in. My stone blocks tell me that it's like a braking signal, like that you're going to go too fast unless you put on the brakes. See, we're really starting to vibrate there. And you can go pretty fast through here. It's not the end of the world. It's real. The reason I put the stone block here more than anything is because there's a turn down at the bottom of this hill. So this is a little bit flat, so you won't wreck because you'll hit this flat spot. And when it gets to this, though, you can almost see it's sloping down a little bit more. All right, so if you haven't cut your speed down through that section, like I put on the brakes a little bit, then when you get into this section, you're really still going pretty darn fast, and you get on this hill, and then this is enough of a turn at on the hill that it causes you to derail just from sheer speed. So I probably need to go put another block in just to warn myself to do what I just did. A little hard to see that block. See, that turn is enough to derail you. All right, I could be a little more gentle right here, I guess. And if you're just obliviously pounding along at your 20% regulator, off you go. All right, I think we're going to be okay. And right down here is where we want to be going a little cautious around this turn and the switch. Though we will want to take these brakes off as we slow down. So we'll get to not level spot, but like very not so steep grade. By the switch is all level. Probably want to give it a little more. Maybe these extra cars pushing me down that hill a little bit harder. We should be coming to a level. I don't want to slow down too much. We are running out of fire, but I think really all downhill to the smeltery, which is our next trip. It's either that or coal, but we do need to take some iron and coal down to the ironworks as part of our thing. And I'm thinking we take 26 cars worth of iron because we can, and see how that goes. I don't have enough gray hairs already. Just a little bit downhill here. Right here it gets a lot steeper. So given the fact that we're not already back at the smeltery, how would I rate ourselves as far as this goes? Like, how well did we do with the tracks in particular. And I'd give it an A. You know, I mean, I think we got up there. We did what we had to do. The derailment wasn't our fault, but it wasn't an A plus. Maybe you could call it a B. You know, because we didn't really test everything out. Like, it might not be our fault. Sometimes you get the extra credit question, sometimes you don't. And because we had the derailment up there, which, you know, it's hard to give you an A plus if you had that, those 7 cars did split loose, you know. And knowing that we have other issues, yeah, probably a B, I think. And in particular, you know, right there at the coal mine, I think could use some improvements. Take off the brake. I think this bridge is pretty close to level. Might be downhill a little bit. And we shouldn't have to stop at the bottom of this hill. We should be good because we just came right out of here. So that's one of the benefits to single player, right? You know the switches are where you left them. There's no chance of anybody else having messed with them. The only exception is pulling back into where we buy the trains from. That one switch always flips to the first track. First track that it puts trains on. I could take off the brake, but then I would just have to put it right back on in a second. Everybody still with us? I think so. Yeah, so that brings up some interesting possibilities with this loading. Another option, I'm thinking about loading this, like, you know, loading this 26 cars is not easy when they're so far away and you can't see. But if I could pull in here, maybe I even back into the thing and offload some of them, right? And then I just load the rest. Let's see how that works out. Just as another trial that we can do kind of easy. We need a lot more brake, don't we? All right, are we causing problems back there? Nah, usually if you on the brakes, at least some, they don't come all slamming into each other quite the same way. Now, some people talk about setting brakes in some of the cars that are along their consist. Yeah, so that second switch is flipped to go the right way. So what I'm thinking of is, we would have to, the next one after that isn't. Oh yeah, that wouldn't quite work like I was picturing. No, but what we could do, well, I don't know how well that would work. We could pull forward and then put this extra cars in the, like I could pull forward now and just load up the first 13 cars, say. And then back in and put those on the bypass and then load the next 13 cars because it'll be easier at that point, right? Yeah, that, I think I'm kind of liking that idea if it sort of works out. All right, picture that I'm pulled past there. I've got my 13th car that I'm loading, and I just put the brakes on this one, pull it a little bit further forward, and then back it in, right? And then I could just back over here. Yeah, I'm going to try that. Let's hit some brakes so we get... We're doing an iron, aren't we? Yeah, let's really hit some brakes. Because now I need to back up. I have no steam. All right, well, let me do that as part of the next thing. But so what I'm talking about doing is, and I'll come back to show you that. So I'm going to load 13 cars or so, 14 maybe, because it's like, why not do 2 at a time, right? I'll do 14 cars. By that point, I'll have been pulled a good amount around the turn. I will break the train in half, pull past this switch, flip this switch, back it into there, pull back, you know, get the idea, and then I'll reattach to those. And then by the time I'm done loading the next 12 cars, whatever, you know, it doesn't matter the number exactly, as long as it's about half, I'll already be 3/4 of the way there. I'll pull a little bit more forward, back in, pick up the rest of the train. And I think that's going to save a lot of running back and forth from all the way over there to over here. Let's give this a shot. So I need to put some more fire in here. Let me pause the video, and I will get these first, I don't know, 12 or 14 or whatever it is loaded up, and then I will talk to you guys then. I loaded up 14 cars, so what I want to do now is come up to this car. Well, let's set the brakes first. Set these two nice and easy. Probably don't need them too much, but we need a little resistance when we come back to rehook. So I guess I'll leave this one with the link. Hopefully that all works out. But there we go. That's 14 cars. I kind of like it. Look how my locomotive is just starting to sit on that hill. So now what I need to do is pull it up past this mark here. And we'll back in. Let's just see how this goes. You can get a sense of how far I have to run, too, to get here. I mean, that's a decent run. So let's just see. You know, are we going to be breaking links and all that other kind of stuff on this hill? I don't think we did on the way there, but look how fast that thing lurches forward. That's unrealistic because those other cars have steel on them, and there's just no way you would lurch forward because that's downhill as much as this is. This is a little bit steeper, but still, that was big time lurching forward for the hill. I wonder, do the cars change with the load? I haven't really. I would have to say yes if I had to guess, but I haven't really been convinced that they changed as much as you would think they should. Then again, maybe the cars were heavier than you would expect too, right? But if they were so heavy, then why wouldn't they outweigh the locomotive? And maybe they all do, and I'm just not seeing it 100%. Or feeling it, maybe is the better way to. All right, there we go. I think we're past that switch. That's nice. We can just see that switch. Somebody cut just the right number of trees down. I wonder who that was. Oh, no. Now they're going to switch. Oh, my bragging. The cars went the other way. The spring-loaded effect. Ah, you're kidding me. That's what you get. Look at that. That's funny. 3 feet. They all sprung back 3 feet. Yeah, and even though this is curling back around, which does limit the amount of running I have to do, still see it's a pretty good run. That's all we needed. So if you did manage to stop at the right place and didn't have to run back and forth so many times, flip this switch. See, the thing I like about this is that's almost the worst part of it, is this long run over here, and then because we'll be back over in that area again. Oops, come on. It's not like there's going to be, I mean, that's the most of the running around. And as we put these guys in here, we're getting closer, right? So a lot of the switching will happen like relatively quickly, because this is about speed, right? Could you do this faster? I think over time I would, like, does the running back and forth every 2 cars make up for this extra time that we're spending putting this car in the bypass? We're pretty close to hitting that gravel, aren't we? We did hit that gravel with that front. That front part must not have collisions on it. Man, I need to not be going quite so fast. So I mean, now that we're over here, once we disconnect this, we're boom, 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 boom. Yeah, it's pretty quick. Does this work out as well if you couldn't be so close? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I might even conduct a trial at some point in the future right, we'll do the same thing. We'll set 2 cars, brakes. As long as I don't save and then reopen the game, I think I'll be okay. Oop, I didn't disconnect, did I? Be key part of the operation. Right, and then let's go look. Yeah, we have a link in here. See what I mean? Like the links, I don't know. No pin, but we have a link there. It just doesn't, you know, we should keep our link in the locomotive or in the tender. That's reverse. Let's go forward. Make sure the cars aren't coming with us. Oh, we're running out of steam. I'm wondering why I'm having to give it so much regulator and whatnot. I'll put some steam. We're about to do a new segment anyway, or I'm going to pause after we... I think you guys get the idea. You don't need to watch me load all this, but give you some sense of, is this a good idea or maybe something you can try? Let me know. But I am liking it, to be honest, because see, now we end up flipping where the cars go, but then imagine when we go to leave, you know, we're going to be pulled forward. It'll be a reasonably quick thing to reconnect to those. And it will have saved us a lot of running back and forth. And even if it's not so great for saving time, it's also saving some aggravation with having to deal with that hill so much. I mean, it's a lot quicker trips. Let's hop out. Yeah, it doesn't look like it should work, but it did. We'll take the brakes off. It was just those 2 cars, right? Yep. There we go. So I can pull forward a little bit and we'll get to loading again. So that did take a few minutes to do all that. Is it worth it? It's I don't know. It takes quite a few minutes to run back the length of, you know, 20 or even 15, 16 cars, you know? So it's all got its pluses and minuses. All right, let me put some more steam in here and then I'll see you guys in a couple seconds. I was just throwing the switches and I came back ready to jump in and hook this up, and I had a thought. The next thing, we need to get 2 things down to the ironworks. We need to get coal and we need to get this iron down there. But I thought, well, really, after that, the next thing we're going to do is deal with the crude oil, getting that over to the refinery, because we'll be ready to go, like, back to the refinery with the steel pipes. The reason we're doing all of this is the steel pipes. And I thought, well, for doing all of that, we want these cars down there, so we would need to come back here. If we did this trip first, I don't think it makes a huge difference in the long run, but I think it's better if we go get the coal. Ooh, kind of fast there. Slow down, buddy. So what I want to do is see if I can't pull this guy out of the way of the coal train so that we can get the coal train over and around here and then send him up to the coal mine first. Now, I think I just threw my switches the wrong way to do that. But anyway, so that's what I'm doing right now. And then to try to... I am liking this. I'm not 100% convinced that it's faster. I am convinced that there's less issues with it. Let's go a little bit extra far since the thing happened to us last time, right? Like, stretch that train out a little bit so it doesn't just go back over on the switch. So I'm definitely convinced that it makes it easier around this tight turn that you may have and the hill and everything else. Like, and it is a lot faster from just the loading perspective. Now, how would we get this guy out of the way? Is this, let's come back over here. I could just push this guy back into See, this is this guy's rail siding right here. I could try to push him back onto the regular track, but if I come up here and flip, let's see, we're not quite far enough. Yeah, he's off of this. Like, what if I came in here? This one's actually flipped the right way, right? I could push him all the way back alongside of there, and then that way he would this. Otherwise, this guy would have to block the entrance, right? So yeah, let's try that. Thought this would be a little bit interesting to see. So we got to pull up past this switch so that we can flip it the other way. So we'll have to back up here and then pull up. But yeah, as far as loading goes, especially if your cars are going straight out, but I definitely want to take a little bit of a speed test. Try to load a train, either that or just, because by the time we're running all the way over to there, it is definitely just kind of far. There's no question about that. So, you know what I mean? Like, imagine every time, what's that, like 10, 15, 20 extra seconds it takes you back and forth, like it definitely adds up over 20 trains. Now, it's not so bad when we can load two of them here at the same time, but when we were unloading like one train at a time, one car at a time, that's pretty painful. Definitely not nicer. You can see. Oops, I went that wrong way with that. I meant to reduce the brake, and I accidentally increased it. We're close. Come on, keep going. There we go. I think we're there. The brake. At the brake. Oops. I'll fall in the firebox. All right, so now I need to pull forward a little bit. I should have probably counted about how many cars, but I think there's probably only 3 or 4 if we... it's further down here. Not this... Yep. There you go. It worked. Did I set 3? No. Let's pull forward... at least 4 or 5 cars so we don't end up causing a problem. And then I'll pull the iron ore car around here. We'll get that loaded up and we'll see how much time we have left. But I need to take, the coal car. We're going to go get coal. So I might take that trip alone. Maybe even as part, I might even cut the video and, we want to go forward. Let me think about one thing at a time here. So I might even cut the video. Geez, that's kind of fast because of this hill. Oh, we didn't get them all. Why didn't we get them all? Did it not? Oh. That was a good way to cause a wreck. What happened there? Did we not get close enough? I think that's... Well, now our problem is we don't have the brakes on, so this is going to be... Probably going to have to run back down there and put the brakes on. Unless we can hit it like really, really, really gently. I didn't pause the video or reload or anything, so there's no... I think that gap was just too big, I guess. This hill, it definitely makes it easier to do what I did, if nothing else, because like this hill we're fighting this hill, if you can kind of tell, right? Yeah, let's just... Break. Let's go back a little bit further. I think what it's doing is it's just so many cars that it just like sort of accordions on itself and then pops back. And then if the brakes aren't set down there, I'm just going to do this. And I don't think that's going to work, but maybe we get lucky. Without those brakes set, that accordion action is just going to push it away. Yeah, see, they're still rolling, I think. And I think I had only set 2 brakes. That's another issue. If you set 3, oops. Yeah, that's a good way to get stuck in the cars too, by the way. Get fall down in there. Let's set 3 brakes. 3 brakes definitely seems to help. So here we go. This is where this is falling apart, right? If you don't have a good system for getting reattached, now any time that we probably saved, we're now losing, messing around with trying to get this thing reattached because we made one little mistake. And I probably should have checked that our links were in good shape. No, we still want reverse. And this hill is really not making it easier. We still have fire. Come on. Whoa, 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 whoa. See what I mean? Like I'm trying to do nice and gentle, and it's like we're right on the crest of that hill, which is throwing me off. All right, so that should be, now we're coming down the hill. See, so it's like changing how fast we're going. Hopefully those 3 brakes are enough. Now, not everybody's situation is going to be exactly the same. So I think it's probably going to come down to one of those situational things. But I think it's a good idea to explore and an option depending on your circumstances. So is this it? I get the impression I pushed it back further. This isn't it because we pressed it back a good amount. Oh, wait, I still have the link in there, don't I? Now I can't tell which one it is. Well, I set the brake. Yeah, so this one has the brake set. Let me unset that brake. Is this one's brake set? Yes, so let's check this one. Yep, that was it right there. All right, so that means this, if we got the right one, this one should be set too. Yep. All right, that should have been it. That time it was close together. We'll try this again. We're going to run out of time just dealing with this. That's all right. Like I said, I'd probably take the cold trip alone. You guys have seen cold trips. I don't think having 10 cars versus the 5. Well, I'm not even going to take 10 because I only have 64 coal. So we'll take 7 iron ore cars up there. We'll leave the other ones in here. Now, this guy should be able to get right back in and come on, go slow. Take that off. See what I mean? When you're trying, and all of a sudden that lurches forward, like when you're trying to unload the cars and stop right on these markers, it definitely doesn't help that that's in your way. Yeah, I can't really see. I think we want to go further. Let's go all the way around just so we don't run up there again without any. I'll go almost all the way up to there. This is about the area that the 12 or 14 cars were at. So you imagine the other thing is I'm going to have markers all the way over here to tell me where to stop. So at some point, without a color-coded kind of nice system, I don't know if it's far enough, but hopefully it is. Without a color-coded nice system of markers, I would have a hard time telling, if I had markers over there for the iron ore, I would have a really hard time distinguishing that. There's no, as it is, it's hard to keep track of which mark is for what purpose. Like these marks over here, for that over there. And you just kind of have to remember all that stuff until we get some kind of signs or something that you could put up. All right, there we go. So I guess this, this thing goes all the way up the hill, so there's no real reason that this wouldn't fit in there. It's super long. Oh, how did we, wait a minute. Did we just derail while I'm calling foul. Did I just not notice that? And yet it was derailed. Yeah, it's certainly my derailings have gone up significantly since I started this 26 car kind of general thing that I'm doing. All right, let me re-rail these real quick because I don't want to run out of time. I did want to kind of complete this maneuver, and you guys have seen me railing things, at least a fair amount, so I will be right back. Now these links broke, and off I go on I don't want to say a wild goose chase, but off I go. At least the switch is switched the right way, so we're heading in the right direction, aren't we? I'm not sure how this link broke or why, but it did. All right, so at least we flipped the switch at that point, so at least at least it's not too bad. But this is getting to be too much, like if I keep having to deal with all these derailing issues. And again, I know I could do things a little better with things like this turn, or maybe just rethink how we're doing it all together, like make it a wider turnout. Maybe I need to refocus. Sometimes in life when I start having a lot of problems, I have to just step back and do it in a completely better way, right? So I think all the brakes are off here. Yeah, like why would that link have broken? Does that make a lot of sense? It just, or is it just this turn is too much? I know I wasn't paying that much attention to slamming on the brake, so it certainly could have been something I did, but I don't want these things to be so sensitive that I can't. It's like if you had a car that you had to drive that delicately, or else the wheels would fall off, like it's just too delicate in operation to be worth it. There we go. So now we're over the hill, so we go flying forward faster. Like I said, it's not helping. It's above my pay grade, above my skill level, right, to deal with all of that at once. There we go. I think we're there. There we go. We didn't hit too hard, so we should be good to go. No idea which car it is. You don't have to. We're not necessarily going to be able to tell, are we? Did I? That one doesn't have its brake set. Neither does this one. I think it was not this far back. Yep, this one has its brake set, so we'll just double check this one. This one doesn't. There should be 3 cars that are set, so this one should be fine. This is the one that was missing. Yeah, here we didn't hear that one noise, we just heard the other. All right, now we hear both noises. Okay, so now we should be able to back up yet again. Come on. You can do it. Come on. We're not out of heat. Now, I'm almost certainly going to take a break after, so I want to make sure that these guys are set up to be saved and not have them all break apart again on me when we go down to the ironworks. It's plenty fast. So this is definitely giving me ideas, like I said, how I would, if I had to redo the whole game from the beginning, keeping in mind the effects that this super duper long trains are going to have, I would definitely keep in mind this whole idea of like stopping, unloading part of the train and then, then unloading the rest of it. Definitely makes it easier. Not sure about quicker. And in some circumstances, it may just be necessary to not have derailments like that, right? I just sat there unloading. I didn't have any problems until I hooked up these 26 train cars. Then all of a sudden, we got a derailment. Like, just I don't even understand exactly why that particular circumstance would have derailed it. But look at this. We're way on that hill, which is perfect. We don't need to set the brakes back there. This guy should be good to go. Let's, right? Because like when we start up, they shouldn't run away. They should all be close. They should all be bunched up. I'm sure in real life you'd want to set some of the brakes, not just rely on the locomotive brakes. But there we go. So this guy's is probably as pretty cold as a stone. Now, does he have... Let me undo the brakes and set up... Oh, you know what? Let's put some heat in there first. And I want to bring 7 cars out of the 10. All right, we'll just at least get this warming up. I didn't see any go in. Nope. Yeah, this one causes me more trouble than the other ones. And I have found that if I stand here... Yep, there we go. Stand off to the side. But I didn't get them all in, but I got more of them in. Let me get a few more and see. Nope, that one was a miss because I didn't even see the firewood. All right, 2 more. I think it got in there because I had, what, 30, right? 29. Now we're up to that. Well, whatever. We're missed firewood. I think it's just part of the game for a while. All right, so we only have 64 ore up there, so we'll take these last 3. All right, I'm going to set that brake. Is this one set just for memory's sake? No, let's set that one. How about this one? Yes. All right, so all 3 of these cars are set. We're going to break this guy. Like I said, it really almost doesn't matter which one of those pins you pull because the link goes wherever it wants to go, not where you tell it. Then now I need to reset the train, reset the way out of here, right? All right, so we're going to be coming back around this way and heading back up to the coal mine, which we should be good because we just pulled in from there, but I flipped this over earlier thinking we were going to take the iron ore out. This one's good because we're going to come around that way. And then that one should be good there. So I think we're pretty much out of time here, unfortunately. And I think, like I said, I'm going to run this guy up there and get those 7 almost full cars. The one will have 4 in it. And we'll get those all the way down to the ironworks. I don't anticipate any problems, and it's a trip we've already taken before in the past, so I will do this on my own. But then when we come back to take these 26, I want to keep dealing with these super long trains. Not sure how many super long trains we're going to have when we go to the oil refinery, but we'll find out, right? Those will all be new trips for us, so we'll be taking those together no matter how many cars we have on it. But doing it this way will mean the last trip we'll have these lumber cars down there. And like I said, I think we need to take the lumber. We'll have to work out exactly the logistics that we need for the refinery, but we'll go from there. So once again, I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye-bye.